Alright, and welcome back to another day of training for the Atlanta, or not Atlanta. Ha! This is the Milwaukee Regionals team we're working on. So, I believe the other day I might have mentioned that I thought that Groudon might be a better fit for this particular team comp because Calyrex Shadow already has the speed side of things on lockdown, so this time we're going to try it out. Grab my Groudon, who is very much meant to be a slow Groudon. Ooh, they have weather. Love to see... Actually, no, I don't love to see the weather, but they have weather. Grabbed the Groudon, grabbed his good friend, the little Sableye. Yeah, that's a special looking team over there. I feel like that's built around the core that made a real mess of, some stuff back in Sword and Shield. Neat. And scary at the same time. Cool, anyway, what am I going to do about that? That is the real question here. I think we're going to actually lead there. Gonna bring the Groudon. Groudon, and I think we'll bring the Calyrex. I don't know how much I like that. Yeah, so, by the way, the kind of a gimmicky Sableye, something I was trying. Iron Ball, you just trick it onto an opposing Pokemon to cut their speed, then you have Disable, Foul Play, and, Gravity. Make it so your Previous Blades just don't miss. Okay, well, those are the four things that we're going to roll. Fluttermane to hopefully help us with potential speed problems that we're going to run into really, really fast if they just lead with Tornadus and... what's its face? Kyogre. Yeah. Kyogre Tornadus could be a less than fun time. Oh, it's Tornadus Sashion. Okay, that's cool. No, that's cool. I'm fine with this. Yep, okay, so how do I want to do this? Yep, so we've got our booster energy, so that basically confirms that they are going to go for a Tailwind on their first turn. They basically have to do Tailwind on the first turn. So I think we're going to just throw out an Icy Wind. And we're just going to try and get a cheeky little KO off into that there Zacian. And the reason I say that it's cheeky is because they will outspeed with the Tailwind. I mean, they would outspeed anyway, unless the Icy Wind connects. But with the +1 attack, we might still KO even through Rain if they decide that they want to go with a Rain Dance instead. And, yep, okay, they went Rain Dance instead, which means that I might get all my damage off before they have a chance to do anything. Here goes the Icy Wind for the speed control that connects with Tornadus, who has a Covert Cloak, so it's kind of a moot point. But it's going to slow the Zacian down, which will mean that our max speed... Oh, that's not a Covert Cloak Tornadus. Okay, I was wrong about that. But that does mean that our +1 Ivy Cudgeling Ogerpon here is going to go bop. Bye-bye! Alright, love to see that. The Terrifier plus... the Terrifier and the +1 attack boost is just a lot of damage. Well, that was lovely. Off to a great start. Look, it's a Kyogre. What a surprise. Fancy seeing you here. Yeah, so now is going to be... Now is Icy Wind Spiky Shield time? No, now is not. Now is Groudon. And Ivy Cudgel time. And the reason now is Groudon Ivy Cudgel time is because we're going to attempt to deny them speed control. Yeah, they can absolutely go with the Prankster Tailwind, but they can't both do Prankster Tailwind and set up. Yep, okay. They can't both reset the Rain and do Prankster Tailwind in the same turn with the Tornadus. They hit me with the Water Spout. Thanks to the sun, we survived, but boy, that was closer than I wanted it to be. Okay, now if we can just stall out the Tailwind turns, Calyrex is good to come in and clean up the game. Because we have, for the rest of the game, we have successfully denied them any form of speed control. So now we move into stall tactics. For just a little bit. We don't need a lot, we just need a little bit. Will I have enough? That is a great question that we don't have an answer to right now. Let's see. Do I want to risk it? Do I not want to risk it? I don't know. I think... You know what? No. We are just going to stall out the Tailwind. I've said it like 3 times prior to making the decision. The goal is stall the Tailwind. That is right now what we need to do. Okay, Ice Spinner into Groudon. That's fine. Water Spout from Kyogre. That's fine. Okay, how many turns do we have left? It should be 2 if I'm counting internally correctly, but we're going to double check before we move on. Okay, what do we have? They have 2 turns left of Tailwind. That is actually ideal because... yeah, we protect and we Spiky Shield. Yep, we're going for the double protects. We're going to roll the dice on both. They might both fail. That's okay. Oh, Groudon got it. Neat. What a convenient turn of events. Okay, there goes the Ice Spinner. It's not doing anything. And the reason that that is convenient is because it means that I can put out one Pokémon who has a guaranteed protect. Groudon might go down, thereby giving me a swap or a switch into the other Pokémon, which would be okay. Yeah, I think we go with Faye. Because again, the name of the game is Speed Control. We have not seen their terrestrialization yet, which is still slightly concerning. There are 2 turns worth of Sunlight. There is 1 turn worth of Tailwind. And I want to roll for the triple. We're going to roll for the triple and go for the 1 guarantee. Now we get to see their terrestrialization. That is awesome. That helps out tremendously. It's into the Chien-Pao. They're going Terrastellar. Okay. I assume that it's because they can do something like Sucker Punch, and the Terrastellar boost gives them enough damage to actually KO the Fluttermane or something of that. No, Ice Spinner? No? Okay. I guess I'm not really sure why they just decided to go for the Ice Spinner. It's alright. Okay, free switch in for our good friend Cali Shadow. Please and thank you. At this point, I think our game-winning play is going to be Astral Barrage. No, yep, so Tailwind is down. We have 1 last turn of Speed Control. If they don't switch to going after the Calyrex with the Chien-Pao, I'll be very surprised. And that's kind of why we wanted to preserve this for the very end. We have 1 last turn of Sunlight. Just going to look at one thing here. Check summary on you. Yep, okay, that is my very, very bulky Fluttermane. Love it. Okay, so this is Astral Barrage, and Fluttermane outruns. So we... yeah. Okay, yep, there's the Sucker Punch. This is why we Focus Sash. Oh! Woo! Defensive investment! Save us! Bop! Okay, takes them down to Focus Sash as well. Calyrex going to outrun. Yep, here's the Astral Barrage. That'll pick up the KO on the Chien-Pao. Does next to nothing to the Kyogre. Oh, that looks like an assault-vested Kyogre. Well, we are about to see whether or not +1 Giga Draining Calyrex is able to successfully chip his way through this Kyogre. Okay. Oh boy, so we've got the old King of the Water versus the King of the Galar region, or at least the Crown Tundra. Let's go. Here's the Giga Drain. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. Okay. And we did not make it all the way back up to full. Origin Pulse misses, and that's going to guarantee the game. Well, my opponent, thank you very much. That was a very close game. And yeah, I kind of like that. Definitely going to have to consider the Groudon as a potential tech option here. I will admit, I'm not fan of I'm not hand. Not a fan of, not fond of, to take your pick. Not a huge fan of the fact that Preposis Blades is only 85% accurate. Like, it seems very reasonable to me that that could be buffed to a higher degree of accuracy, unless they're planning on bringing Origin forms back into the game, which they might with Champions, who knows. Regardless, though, I think this team does very much have potential. So, we'll probably keep working on it. But thank you very much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great day.